What's going on, Top Notch family? And yes, we are coming from a car video. Currently at work and I'm on my break, and I just wanted to get this video out for you guys. So today we are going to be talking about the real reason why no one has traded for Brandon Ingram yet. And man, oh man, it is getting spicy. There is plenty to talk about. So if you guys enjoy NBA content, make sure you drop that sub, turn on the post notifications, and drop a like to help me grow, of course, and comment down what video I should be talking about next. Now, Brandon Ingram has been one of those lone stars so far this offseason that hasn't been traded or got his contract extension. Now, with the new CBA rule, you're not really seeing much trades, you're not really seeing much huge signings, and you're not really seeing much super teams. And I think that's the reason why they added the new CBA, because you had teams like the Golden State Warriors, or you had teams that was always just winning championships. Now, when it comes back to the teams that are super teams, their team overall is just pretty much awful. Look at the Phoenix Suns. They have a big three, but outside of the big three, their depth isn't the greatest. Now, talking about the Pelicans did make a trade, and it was for DeJounte Murray. Now, DeJounte Murray is one of those players that was going to get traded this offseason. It was either going to be him or Trae Young, and he has been shipped off to the Pelicans. Now, I feel like the Pelicans have always been a good team. They just never got the job done, because on paper, they look very, very well. But on the court, they just can't figure it out, and then either they can't figure it out or they're just dealing with crucial injuries, and that's kind of where it gets tied into Brandon Ingram. Now, Brandon Ingram did sign a contract, I believe in 2018, 2019, or 2019, 2020, around those 2 years, right? A 5-year deal, about $158 million. Now his contract is pretty much wrapping up. He's going to be a 2025 unrestricted free agent, and he's making about $36 million this season. Now, the reason why he has been involved in trade rumors is because he came out, his agent pretty much says he wants a 4-year, $208 million contract. Now, there's a reason why he's not getting that, and today I will be explaining that all. I'm just going to kind of go step by step so you guys understand. So, when you look at the Pelicans, right, you got players like Zion, who you want on your team forever. That's your franchise guy, right? So you got him till 2028, and he each year is going to continue to want more and more money, especially if he stays healthy and especially if he keeps dominating, right? So you have that domino. Remember earlier I told you about the CBA. It affects your team crazy well, right? You already got CJ McCollum on contract till 2026. You got, players like DeJounte Murray, who you just traded for, till 2028. Then you got Herb Jones, who's on contract, I believe, to 2027. He averages about $13 million. You're telling me he's not going to want more? One of the best perimeter defenders in the league. But not only that, he's only getting better because he is knocking down that shot. And then you got Trey Murphy, who is going to be a restricted free agent in 2025, and he's only making about $3.6 million this season. So he's going to expect a bag too, especially if he continues to knock down shots. So you got players on contracts for a while, but players are going to want contract extensions. And so if you pay Brandon Ingram a 4-year, $208 million, it's going to affect your roster. And Brandon Ingram is not that type of guy that's going to help you win a championship. I feel like that type of contract, you have to be a 1A dude. I personally don't even think Brandon Ingram is a 1B. I personally think he's like a 1C. I think he has to be the third guy to win championships. And the reason why I say that is because when you look at the regular season performance, it's okay. It's cool. 20 points a game, 5.7 assists, shooting 44% from the field, 35% from the three-point line. But when you need him the most, and we're talking about last postseason, he averaged about 14 points a game. So from the regular season, he dropped to 6 points. Well, overall 6 points, right? Because he went from 20 to 14. His rebounds dropped. His assists dropped. His three-point percentage dramatically dropped. And I'm not saying he's a great three-point shooter. We know that. But when you're going from 35% from the three-point line to 25%, and then when you're going from 49% from or 44% around, I can't even read my own language, but 49% to 34%, That's absolutely insane. So the numbers are dramatically dropping. Rebounds, assists, 3-point percentage, or field goal percentage. He got absolutely destroyed in that Oklahoma City series. He was playing awful, and he's supposed to be that number one guy. So the fact that you're coming off a terrible postseason, but then expect to get a 4-year, $208 million deal just doesn't make sense. And then not only that, he is coming with a injury problem, right? The 5 years that he's been on the Pelicans, he's only averaging about 57.5 games. 57. So you want $208 million, but don't show up in the postseason and hardly is playing for the team. And then you're in a tough Western Conference, so you need your guys every single night because you're already dealing with a Zion problem where he can't stay healthy. So it just doesn't make sense for the organization to pay Brandon Ingram this much money. And the reason why he hasn't been traded is because all the stuff that I listed. You got bad postseason performance. They know his body can't hold up, and he's not a 1A dude. So if you do trade for him, he's still going to want that contract extension, and it's just not going to work out. And fun fact from the last season, they were 11-7 without Brandon Ingram. So if that's your best guy, how are you playing better without him? I get it. That's a small sample. But at the end of the day, they're still positive. And I personally think when you have Zion, who's already not a great shooter, and Brandon Ingram's not a great shooter, you need more floor spacing. And so when you have DeJounte Murray, who's not a great shooter, right? He is capable around like 34-35%. But then you got CJ McCollum, who struggles in the postseason when it comes to shooting. Zion's going to be that number one guy. You got Herb Jones and Trey Murphy. I feel like the spacing's a little bit better. You clog it up adding a player like Brandon Ingram, who drops from 35 to like 25. So you really got to just look at, okay, is this best for the Pelicans just to extend Herb Jones, extend Trey Murphy? You traded for DeJounte Murray, build it with a new big three of him, CJ McCollum, and obviously Zion. I think this team could be more competitive. I think Brandon Ingram will still be on the roster, but maybe one team will budge and trade for Brandon Ingram, but they know, the league knows he's not worth that type of money, and they know he's not usually on the court majority of the time. So let me know what you guys think about today's video. Just had to explain everything of why Brandon Ingram hasn't been traded. I love you guys so much, and I'm out. Peace.